Okay, Arthur Coldwells with Ultimate Motorcycling, and we're here at in sunny California, and it is finally sunny. I've had a great day riding the new Dunlop RoadSmart III performance touring tires. So I'm here with Mike Manning, who has agreed to tell me a little bit more about them.
Yeah, so with our design engineers in Buffalo, New York, and the only ones making motorcycle tires here, it's a good challenge. Performance touring is real challenging because the performance part, you understand, that's why we ride bikes, is to have fun on them. And the touring part is, but we want them to last a long time, right? So the gist of the RoadSmart III is that it hits the performance and the touring. One thing in particular on the performance side is it doesn't just work great when it's brand new, but we concentrated on how well the tire works over the life of the tire.
So obviously, I'm used to riding Q3s, and that's a sort of the market-leading sport tire. I mean, how does this tire compare with the Q3 in terms of allocation?
Right. So it's also a multi-tread tire like the Q3. So it has the lateral grip compounds for when you lean over, and really as you come off center much at all, you start to get into the lateral grip compound, so it handles well. It's obviously not meant to ride on a track day like a Q3 would be. A great track day tire as well as on the street. This is more of like a street tire, but still high performance tire. I mean, you just rode around the hills here in Southern California, and I don't think you had any issues with the grip or handling, right?
I had none at all, despite all the dirt and the wet on the road. And that brings me to a good point. The tread pattern on it is a little different to the RoadSmart II. So what can you tell me about that?
One thing, the tread pattern is kind of the obvious part everybody sees. So, but there's a lot of engineering in the tread pattern and what it does. So this cross groove tread pattern, it's meant to do two things. It works well in the wet or damp conditions, even this sort of dirty stuff we're in today. But it's also designed to wear well and evenly. So sport touring tires, performance touring especially, a lot of those bikes really are tough on tires. And so you can have a tire with a compound that lasts a long time, but if the pattern's wearing oddly on you, then it's not going to really give you the performance you need over time. So we really concentrate on this pattern with the RoadSmart III, with the cross groove pattern, to have it wear evenly over time, as well as be effective in the wet and the damp.
You also talked a little bit about the changes to the Carcass, and especially with the belting and tightening up the wiring in there. So what exactly is that, and what effect has that had?
So the Carcass of the tire is like the skeleton of the tire, if you will, and it all works in conjunction. So if you just put a higher mileage compound in the tire without making other changes, that's where you're going to give up performance for the sake of mileage. So to get both, you have to affect the whole thing. The Carcass changes, it's a different profile. The jointless belt that we use is a different wind of the steel, and it really works in conjunction with the compound for the tire to be compliant. The other big Carcass change is the beads, which is what secures the tire to the wheel. It has what we call an apex on top of it. It's a bit of hard rubber, and this is a longer, thinner apex, which again, it works all together in conjunction to give you that compliance while you're keeping rubber on the road for the performance, but letting the tire last a long time, give you the longevity.
I guess everybody's going to be asking, have you decided on pricing yet, and whereabouts is this going to fall in relation to the competition?
Yeah, so because dealers can kind of price the tires wherever they want, it's a free market, but really these are priced very similar to RoadSmart II, which is a little bit on the lower price scale for performance touring products.
Terrific. So really the summary of this tire is we're talking about top-level performance for sport touring, but performance that lasts the entire length of the tire. Now, I know you've done a lot of testing. What sort of mileage can people expect out of these tires?
So we do our own mileage testing, but in this case, we also hired an outside test company, Texas Test Fleets, to do an independent test for us, and they projected the front tire to last a little over 20,000 miles, and the rear tire to last around 14,000. They ran those tires 5,000 miles and then projected to where it would wear out, a wear rate, and that's higher than the competitor tires we tested against in that test. So we feel we have class-leading mileage without giving up the performance.